Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Amy.
Good
How
morning,
are you?
Peter. I'm good. It's Friday the 13th. But
Friday the 13th. Yeah, I wanted the thumbnail. I was going to put up pictures of us, and then I can't remember the the
oh
the the,
God, now
the
we're gonna
name the name of the character, but the hockey masks on. And then I got worried about DMA strikes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
Oh, what's that? You're wearing your new office swag.
Oh yeah. See, we got the. And then,
Well, at least you're wearing it right side front.
What are you talking about? Like,
Oh, you haven't seen that post? We have a teammate that decided to take a picture with his shirt, and
oh, Oren, we love you.
yes, he put that on Twitter, and I just
I
had
think
to
there's a
respond
tag.
like,
Yeah, there's
you
a tag
realize
back.
you're wearing it backwards, right?
The tag hitting your throat would be a. We love you, Oren. You're special.
Special. Hey, we've already got a few people online. We got Anthony Bartolo. He's currently in Seattle, so 7 a.m. Good for you, Anthony, to be up that early.
Wow. Yeah.
Also, Mr.
Cheers.
Shockley, that's also at 7 a.m. Man, people get up early in the West Coast.
Crazy.
And Rabbit Jr. is here, and there's probably going to be some more that are going to join us
Cool.
anytime soon. What did you think about the listing of updates for this week? It was pretty thin, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they're hiding for build, the big stuff, the exciting stuff. Make everyone wait in anticipation.
You
So
think?
yeah, it's kind of hard to find some stuff.
I think it's. I'm wondering whether or not it has anything to do with the fact that, well, it probably has anything to do with the fact that build is in what, 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's kind of like sitting on their news, waiting to figure out how they're going to put them on
Right.
the day
Blow
of,
your
or
mind.
yeah,
Blow your mind. Yeah.
blow your
I like all
mind.
the orange comments.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Bender is joining
Nice.
us from LinkedIn. Hey, good morning, Mr. Bender.
Yeah, this was my Christmas present, by the way, too. Came in.
That's right. That was
May.
a little care package from our illustrious leader, Mr. Rick Claus. That and we had a really nice water bottle.
Yeah, with the 2022. Yeah, the Hydro Flask.
Hydro
Save the
Flask,
turtles.
yes.
Yeah.
And I had mine for about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter was, ooh, Hydro Flask, gone.
Yeah. Any cool stuff. All my stickers are gone by my 10-year-olds,
Well, I got a pile of them here if she wants more.
Sure. They raccoons. I mean, come on.
Hey, and that's one thing about in-person events slowly starting back, is that there's going to be more swag.
I am a swag. What's the right term? Because you don't want to swag enthusiast.
Enthusiast, yes, that's one word for it. I am not. I go to conferences, and I don't. I'll go to the booth and I'll talk to the partners and I'll talk to the people there, but I do not typically grab any of the swag, unless they have some really cool shirts. But
right, I'm with Derek. Everyone loves swag. Well, I would have coworkers like you who are like, nah, and then I get something really cool. They're like, oh, well, go get me one. I'm like, no, you go stand in line. Go get your own.
Get your own.
Ooh, lots of swag for Imagine Cup. Nice.
Lots of swag event. Yeah, because Anthony right now was supposed to present with me at an event we had this week at iTech conference in Toronto. Mm-hmm. But what was called back to the mothership to help with the Imagine Cup, and I believe it's the 20th anniversary of the Imagine Cup, which is a really cool contest worldwide, where each city, for students, university and colleges, where they actually make a project leveraging the technology, and they have to pitch it, and it's actually really cool the way they do it.
Yeah.
And then each winner of each country gets to Seattle to compete for the Imagine Cup. So Anthony is there with the students right now. It should be. I'm looking forward to hear about it and see what the solutions that these people came up with.
Yeah,
Should be cool.
definitely.
All right, let's hide this. Well, we don't have a lot of news today, but we do have some. So, do you want to get going?
I guess so.
All right. So, I believe the first one is mine, which is the Azure Compute Gallery now supports Trusted Launch Virtual Machine. So trusted launch virtual machines are it's just a regular VM, mostly for Gen 2 of the VMs. And they have virtual TPMs, they have secure boot installed, they have like a whole bunch of different technology, which you can deploy on their own. But altogether, they make this machines what we could call trusted launch. It's to protect from like rootkits and the type of malware that would normally embed itself in like right in the root in the kernel of the machine, and that makes that machine a bit more secure. There are some drawbacks though. So there's some services that you can't do, like you can't replicate a trusted machine as it's running apparently. So if you go to the documentation, or if you go to itopstalk.com, I listed put a link in today's post about what the requirements are and what the prerequisites and so on. But it's really cool, especially if you're in an environment that requires that level of security. If you're an environment where your workloads are specifically sensitive, then getting a machine that is trusted with the trusted launch is a good idea. But now, because of that, in the gallery, you can actually create your own images from a trusted launch machine and use them and share them within your subscription or your tenant, so that other people in your group, whether they'd be developers or others, or maybe it's just part of a continuous deployment program, where instead of having a blank image and then having to install everything, you can have your own images made specifically for your workloads and call them up and deploy them at a moment's notice through the portal, through PowerShell or CLI as normal. Cool. So I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm kind of looking forward to the day where all of our machines are trusted launch. I see that as something that should be done by default, but I recognize there's some limitation in terms of hardware that it has to run on, in terms of the virtual TPM chips and so on that get allocated to each of those VMs.
At least by default, we start turning off like pips and RDP, and you have to enable it, and when you are deploying. So we try to encourage.
RDP is not turned on, but they're not turned off by default. And
okay.
It's funny.
Okay, my subscription, everything's turned off.
Well, yeah, because you're using one of our the Microsoft managed, and so there's a policy for governance to not expose RDP, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
I have a demo subscription that's outside of MSIT control, because sometimes if you want to demo something that is blocked by corp, if we're not owners, or because we're not admins of the subscription, so they kind of block some stuff out. But this week I had this demo and I set up these machines, and Rod, I don't know if Rod is watching, but he'll be happy that I was demoing how you can surface all of these machines in AWS and on-prem through Azure Arc, and then apply other services. So how to make your on-prem experience better by using cloud services. And I demoed Sentinel, and it picked up that one of my machine was being brutally attacked on port on the RDP port 3389, because I'd forgotten to turn it off. I just deployed a bunch of machines and then joined them, and so I could see in Sentinel and where the attack were coming from. And funny enough, they weren't coming from the places that you would normally think they're coming. They were coming from Oregon.
Weird. Maybe some like 12-year-old in Oregon is born.
Maybe trying to get into a machine that has absolutely nothing on it. It's just an empty VM that's running.
Too funny. I'm a hacker.
I'm hacking Microsoft. Yeah, we're gonna find you. I need to get my Liam Neeson voice. I will find you, and I will. No, I'm not gonna do anything of the kind. All right. So, what is your item this morning?
I believe. Do I need? Oh, you got it. Okay, cool. Generally available now is Azure Arc enabled servers have support for private endpoints. So we already have that private link available where you don't have to go over the interwebs. It's all private. And now you can actually create endpoints to connect to as well. So using your VPN or ExpressRoute, you can securely talk to endpoints and put them on your, I think it's per service. If you go to the link in there, it goes over how to deploy it using a VM extension and then how it works. If you have your Azure Arc private link scope, you can connect your private endpoints to an Azure resource. And in this case, it's Azure Arc enabled servers. And then you can, looks like, the private endpoint on your VNet allows it to reach Azure Arc enabled server endpoints through private IPs from your network pool instead of using the public IPs. So that's really cool. So you don't have to go over the main internet, and just more security.
Yep. And it's almost like a nice thing for me that this is happening this week, because at the conference that I did and the session that I did on Arc, that was one of the questions. We had a few people in there that were working for government, and they're like, okay, so this looks fantastic, but we have a requirement to not connect to cloud services outside of controlled and secure methods. How can we do this? And it just happened that it was the day that morning Thomas Maurer had posted put a post saying that it had gone GA. So like, yes, actually you can.
Right. Yeah, you go over that backbone versus the internet.
Yeah, because public internet is public internet.
Right.
Like it's not a safe space there at all.
Don't go to Starbucks and type in your passwords on the Wi-Fi.
I have several little VPN app installed on my laptop, so when I travel, I'm always make sure to turn one on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it VPN, site-to-site VPN or express routes are both very secure and useful tools. Express route costs a little more, but
a little
more.
It's a little faster too.
It depends, because you negotiate your price with your telco, because it really is just an MPLS segment that's terminated both in your data center, so your last mile from your telco, and the other end within our data center. It's definitely more robust.
Yeah, we're always told to like ask for the biggest pipe but start small, and then because it's harder to add than take away, apparently. I don't know, when you get an express route as a customer. I'm not sure if that's still true. That was back in my day.
Yeah, site-to-site VPN is a great option, especially if you're in a testing environment, or if it's something that you're working up to or setting it up through the VPN until you can actually get the express route put in place, because it's not. Because it has that last mile portion to it, it's not like you can just go to the portal and say deploy express route and then it's done.
That'd be nice.
It would be nice.
I don't want to call Comcast.
Who wants to call a telco in the first place? I'm looking for houses right now, at houses and more in the country, because we're looking like a half-acre type lot. And every time my wife finds a nice house, the first thing I do is I go to my internet provider and I go, okay, what's available there? Because I've got a fiber connect to the house here. Yeah. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not going back down to 50 megs up and down. That's just,
I can't live like this.
I can't live like that.
I thought thought Canada was all country. Come on, don't you all
Uh,
just ski
well,
up there and
yeah,
ice skate?
we get out of the house, we get in the sled, and we mush the
Yeah.
dogs to
The
the
kids to
office, and
school, and yeah.
that's right.
That's what Americans think.
Yeah. The next item on our list is the Resource Network NAT Gateway Health checks are now available in the Resource Health. And if you haven't seen what the Resource Health is basically there's like three models: Resource Health. I'm having a brain fart. I can't
That's
remember.
okay.
But there's like basically there's a portal that tells you whether or not there are outages with Microsoft or the services.
Oh, cool. Bartolo.
Pierre used to skate to school.
Uphill both ways.
Uphill both ways, yeah, in snow up to my knees. No, I didn't skate to school. I put my snowshoes on
Mhm.
and just trekked through the woods to school. No, I'm just kidding. And now you can have your virtual network NAT health. So whether or not you're running out of IPs, if one's not connected, if there are any kinds of problems whatsoever, it actually gets surfaced up in the Resource Health, which is a nice kind of great dashboard that allows you to identify and potentially troubleshoot issues that you may have. So
On figure
brain
skates.
fart,
Sorry.
nice. Oh, our boss is on. We have to be
Is he?
more professional, I
Uh-oh.
guess.
Is that where is he? I don't see him.
Oh, I see him.
He's lurking.
Regular IT guy. He kind of changes his name so that we won't know that's him. But he forgot to change his little picture avatar. So yeah, so it's just another way of keeping track of your environment in a way that is useful for you. Managers love it because it's got nice, pretty pictures and kind of dashboardish type of stuff. But it allows you to quickly drill down to where the problems are and troubleshoot them and eventually fix them. Kind of cool.
I have a cool story about our dashboard once. I forget what it was, like our network. It was like NPM through Cisco, and we'd have it on the big screen so the managers could walk by and be like, "Oh, screen." And then one would turn like yellow, and what's wrong with that? And we would just change it to green. Everything's fine.
I know. I worked with the customer where the screensaver for the machine that was running that big TV with the dashboard was an actual picture of the dashboard when it's all green.
Nice.
So they would just leave it there, and then all of a sudden the screensaver would kick in, and then everybody would walk by and say, "Oh, we're green," and then walk away. Dashboards are great as long as they're refreshed often enough, and you don't play games with your management. We do not condone that type of behavior.
Got in trouble if someone found out there was something broken before we did. And then
Squirrel.
Trouble. Squirrel.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Rick is saying, but I think he must have seen a squirrel.
Off track because we saw his pic and brain fart nice, and
I know this chat room is really going sideways right now. So let's move on to our next item.
Yes. From the Red Hat Summit, we now have more updates for Red Hat in our marketplace. So now we can have the Red Hat automation platform is available. It says in North America, with global availability coming soon. So you can automate and scale in the cloud. And then also, it's like the theme, Azure Arc enabled SQL managed instance is now supported on Red Hat OpenShift. So if you need to run your workloads outside of Azure in your own data center, you can throw some Arc on it and make it talk to Azure. New game distracting the AzUpdate host. There you go. It's working. And then RHEL 9 is available May 24th through Azure. And then there's also, I didn't realize this, Azure hybrid benefit for Linux 3.0. So starting May 24th. I always, Linux is free, but I guess Red Hat,
Red Hat is not.
Yes, you pay licensing. So you can bring your licensing, or it says bring your own subscription, and save some money on that. So there's some cool stuff that came out of the Red Hat Summit. And I had a coworker who used to call it Ansible instead of Ansible. Just a fun side note.
Was he French?
No, he was Polish.
Okay, because French people, I was speaking for myself here, we have a tendency to put the emphasis on the wrong syllables.
Ansible.
Ansible.
Yeah, sounds cool.
No, I find this very interesting because it's just one more way, I think, that Azure is making it possible for organizations to get to the cloud without having to relearn a whole new set of tools, have to convert all of their deployment mechanisms to either be bicep, ARM, CI/CD, whatever it may be, and to also to use what they've been using, which is in people that are using Red Hat or using Ansible automation to deploy and manage their environments. So by enabling things like that, we're making it possible for them to do this without to take advantage of Azure without having to relearn everything. So it's just your learning curve to get actually productive on Azure is getting flatter, which is, I think, is a great thing.
Yeah, getting closer to the easy button, but not completely. You still got to do some stuff. But
yeah, I don't think we're gonna get to the easy button anytime soon. But somebody at the door. You're still muted. It's 2022.
I know, I'm muting on purpose. He learned to bark this year. Thanks, Milo.
That's okay. That's
probably
okay.
The mean UPS guy who's not leaving him a treat.
Oh,
it's mad. The UPS truck shows up and they don't leave a treat. He's like heartbroken because they do. They're known for it. He can recognize that truck. We'll chase that truck down the street on a walk. There's the brown truck. It's the brown truck.
It's the brown truck. No,
just for the little doggy treat.
My dogs are more like my doorbell. If somebody comes to the door, I know.
Yeah.
All right. That was pretty much it for the event for the news this weekend. We did have to dig into technical community's blogs for product announcements that weren't officially on the Azure News or Azure Update site. We do have a couple of community events that are coming, or one community event that's coming that is like official. We have, and that might not completely fit the audience that normally watches AzUpdate, but it is the first anniversary of Azure Static Web App.
Yeah.
I actually use Azure Static Web App because I find I'm not a developer, and for the stuff that I need, it's really, really good. Like my personal website is just, I check into GitHub, I change a few markdown files, check it into GitHub, and it gets published, and it works really well, and it's cheap for me to host that.
It's a great way to host those websites. Just bam, update. We did it for a lot of community events as well. Just Azure Static Web App.
Yep. And so on May 19th, there's going to be it says 1 hour, an hour and a half, but I think there's a bit more to it.
Yeah.
There's some ancillary kind of broadcasts that are going on. And apparently our friend Donovan Brown is going to be speaking at that, and lots of good people that are going to give us their experience and all of the good stuff about Azure Static Web Apps. And that's about it for
Scott Hanselman and Donovan Brown on Learn TV. So, and some Microsoft MVPs and product team, and it's a whole week, 30 days of SWA. So
okay, so it starts on May 19th, but there's a whole week. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Now I have more stuff to work on.
Get that badge.
Yeah, no, I have other things to do. But it does take us to the Learn module of the week.
Yeah.
And this week, I thought, since we talked about private link, that it would be a great idea to refresh our knowledge on designing and implementing private access to Azure services. And that private access is not limited to Azure Arc, but it's one of the services that you can leverage,
Mhm.
or that you can that leverages private link to connect. But this is really a great way to secure, let's say, your PaaS services, so that PaaS stays within the Microsoft, the Azure backbone to connect from your PaaS to your SaaS, or your PaaS to your IaaS environment. So if you have a database running in a VM, but you have a
Mhm.
website that's running in PaaS, you can connect it directly without having to basically go out to public internet and then back in.
Back in. That's cool.
So it's not very long. It's an hour and a half. It's
Mhm.
actually a pretty nice module. I'm gone through about half of it by now again. I think I did it a long time ago,
Mhm.
but now I'm kind of reviewing it in light of some of the new stuff that's coming. Also,
Yeah.
to see whether or not there's more stuff that I need to ramp up on.
Always be learning.
Always be learning.
So always be closing, always be. And it's cool. Anthony said that students love Azure Static Web Apps, so it's easy way to deploy their ideas to Azure. That's
Yep.
great.
I think it's something that even though we're not developers, we can use developer tools and developer concepts to make our lives as IT and operations easier.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
even Jared is saying that he's also looking at ways to have CMS deploy static web page. So if you
Oh.
have a process that can spit out HTML, you could
Mhm.
definitely just put it right into that and make it available to everyone.
Yeah,
So
that'd be really cool. I want to see that when you get
really good
it.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, it's already been half an hour.
Wow. I just have too much fun with you, Pierre, especially when it starts off with making fun of Oren, you know.
That's always a bonus. That is just a bonus. And if it's not Oren, it's
And I
Rick.
love him. I love Oren for just in case.
Yeah, I'm not of the I'm not allowed to use that
Oh, you
sign.
can't. You can't.
No.
Oh, my kids would kill me too. I'm probably embarrassing them right now if I
Yeah,
dab
I've been
and then
told by
I'm
my
like,
daughter to like not try to do anything
don't do
like that
any.
at
Yeah,
all.
I know.
All right, Amy. So thank you very much for joining us again this week.
No problem. It's always
It's always
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
And we will see you at home next week,
Hmm.
online or on our Discord server. So
See you later.
be good. See you later.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, well you just jinxed it now.
It's what you make of it.
All right. Cheers.
All right, see ya.